Aries, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early April 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as usual and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Aries collective. The Rams, my gods, talk to me. What do we got for Aries here as we move on into September? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock. Let's see what we got going for Aries, please. And thank you. Oh God, it's nice and quick. There it is. Okay, interesting. This card is very in-depth whenever I see it. The fact that there's communication undertones, time undertones. This girl or this woman seems a little melancholy. So this card has a lot of different layers of possible meanings for us to take a look at. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's get it going. So, as I was mentioning, we see a ton of different symbolism here in this card. We have the woman. She looks a little forlorn. She looks a little gloomy, a little down in the dumps. So watch out for anything like that in this time, like low energy or being at an emotional low. But there's other things that stick out more than that. Like some of you might just be getting bored of something or bored in general when I see this card. However, we have lots of connotations of messages, writing, communication, talking. So for a lot of Aries in the coming days and weeks, whether you're waiting on a communication, whether there's certain ones coming in, we'll see if it shows up in the main part of the spread. But there's an importance to communicating whether you want to or someone wants to speak to you. Now, the fact that there's this big golden clock right at the very top, the apex of this card, represents the construct of time and the effect it has on all of our lives. And it affects us all in different ways. So some of you, once again, you might be waiting. You might feel like you're wasting time. You might feel bored. For a portion of you, you might just feel like time is moving super, super fast, like it's slipping through your fingers. It's all very personal. So we're just going to put this down here. I don't really want to go too hard on this card. It's, as I always say, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, interesting stuff, though. It's a very complex card to start with. But yeah, I'm going to get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. So let's get this deck ready. Let's shuffle it up one time, my gods. What do we got for Aries? And while we do, let's talk about last week's reading, which, if I do remember correctly, was titled Big Win Incoming. It was very positive. So for a lot of the Aries collective, obviously not everyone, there seemed to be an extremely positive energy starting to move in towards the collective, which was nice. As you all know, I'm part of the Aries collective myself. So I really liked seeing that energy. And I always say wins come in all different shapes and sizes, whether it's emotional ones, whether it's monetary ones. So I'm hoping you had one. And that energy could still bleed over regardless of whatever we see in this week's reading. But let's get it going. Let's get 3 cards. As you know, every reading is very fluid. Energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. So let's get it going here. Let's get these 3 cards out. Thank you. Card number 1. Okay, so we do have a little mystery here, my friends. We have the moon. All right, a little Piscean energy. Maybe some of you are on that Pisces cusp, right, at the very beginning of Aries season. Let's get you 2 more. Interesting. That is one of my biggest mysterious cards in the whole deck. It's all about subtle energies. All right, we have tons of water here this week, my friends. We have the Queen of Cups, and right along with her popped out another cup card. We got the 7 of Cups. Interesting. Very dreamy, my friends. So dreamy. Let's talk about it. So we're going to go through, I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that intuitive, juicy stuff. So at first look, first glance, I already commented on it. I was already speaking about it. All cups, all water. Now in tarot, cup cards, they represent the realm of emotion, love, the inner feelings. I believe it's split down the middle in tarot. Half of the deck speaks about the outer world, the material world. The pentacles and the wands, those are action. Those are things we could touch. Swords and water is all about the internal. So a lot of you whether it's a lot of stuff going on the inside. There's so much mystery, and both of these cards on the back ends are a little dreamy. So for a lot of Aries, you might be daydreaming a little more, lots going on in the imagination. Let's break it down one by one though, and we'll try to build this story out. Position number one, the Moon card. So like I said, this is divine feminine type of energy. It represents the zodiac sign of Pisces. So if you're not connected to Pisces, this is a strong, powerful major arcana. It could represent the etheric plane. This is subtle energy, like feeling the energy of others, and your empathy might be heightened here. It's psychedelic in a sense as well. But whenever I see the moon, I always say it's a card that represents the nighttime. So symbolically, this is a card of the unexpected, the surprising, secrecy, mysteries. So this is always an intriguing card to take a look at if you're not linked to Pisces. Some even say Cancer here. So I'm really going to want to clarify that and see what this mystery or unknown could be about. But especially the fact that we're linking it with all water here. There's a lot of emotion, possible interpersonal relationships on the table, like very intense type of emotional feelings. Moving to the center, speaking of intensity, we have the Queen of Cups. So more water sign energy. Now, court cards in tarot, especially the Queen of Cups, could be any water sign. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, we're seeing big signals pointing to these signs, or at least their archetypes. The Queen of Cups, if it's not a person, is all about the realm of inner emotion. She is the epitome. Remember, in tarot, kings represent control of their suit. The queens represent the internal aspects of these suits. So once again, how someone may be feeling, how they're expressing their emotions. Are they expressing them? Are they not? Are they suppressing? There's a lot of things with this card. Now, it is a card of love, care, nurturing. It's a beautiful mother figure, fertile type of energy as well. But the Queen of Cups, I think of intensity, emotional intensity, and she's not always speaking it. She's not always letting it out. So when I think back to the beginning of the reading, when we had communication at the forefront, I'm intrigued to see how this all plays out. Now, let's just place her down right here. There's going to be a lot for us to take a look at. It looks beautiful, all this blue. Now, getting to the back end, we have another intriguing type of energy. We have the Seven of Cups, a card of options. So for a lot of you, you might be weighing options. There might be a lot of paths open to you. Do I do this? Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I take this opportunity? A lot of you might be weighing opportunities and paths in this time, trying to plan for the future. This is a huge card of thinking, of the thought process, daydreaming, even regular dreaming at night. So you see there's so much internal stuff happening throughout this whole entire spread. Generally though, I do see if this isn't just imagination or someone's thought process, because the clarifier could tell us how someone might be thinking, the Seven of Cups to me is a card of options, like choosing the right one, choosing the wrong path. It all really depends. But yeah, we got some interesting stuff this week, Aries, for sure. So we're going to place this Seven of Cups down right here. Let's get them all strained out, and I want to dive deeper. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here, Aries. What do we got, my gods? Talk to me. We got some mystery. We got a lot of internal stuff. And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Moon card. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aries, you drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Moon time. And you know what, Aries, as an Aries myself, I do know all this water energy could be a bit of a downer sometimes for fire energy, right? Because we are all about action and movement. So sometimes an overabundance of emotional and overabundance of water energy could dampen our flame. So watch out for energy issues in this time. What do we got here for the moon? Okay, Judgment. Okay. Yeah, a lot of you could have a lot of unexpected situations popping up and cropping up in this time. Absolutely. All right, with Judgment, this is a card of decisions and choice. So I want to mention this as well, aside from the overarching theme that for a lot of Aries, whether it's just happened or whether it's coming up, not necessarily saying it's a bad thing, but there could be a lot of unknowns just popping up out of the blue, more so than usual. It's showing up here. So whether it's between certain individuals, maybe feelings, and we'll see how it all plays out, because maybe some of you are having like a change of heart or having an unexpected change of feelings in some sort of way. But I would say expect the unexpected, and that's something I've been seeing for fire signs for several weeks now, and it's showing up front and heavy right here. Now, Judgment could sometimes be something returning. So whether it's a situation that you've already dealt with, a person you've already dealt with, there could be a possible return to something. So just watch out for that. Depending on what you're going through, there could be some sort of return. But when I see Judgment, it's angelic, but it's also one of the most transformative, change-based, action-based cards in the whole entire deck. It's extremely powerful. So we're going to see how this all plays out. I do feel just for a lot of Aries, things could just be coming left and right out of the blue, all right? And if anyone could think on their feet, it would be Aries. Let's keep moving and see if we could get more detail out of what this could possibly be. And for, like I said, a lot of you, with all this water, all this internal energy, a lot of you could be having changes of opinion, changes of feeling on a dime. So let's see what, like, it could happen suddenly. So let's go in on Queen of Cups, because she's all about feelings as well. And we'll get to that Seven of Cups. Yeah, this is a little more layered than I expected, but it makes sense when we had a very complex card with the Oracle. So why is that Queen of Cups here? Let's keep this reading moving. More mystery. Yeah, another change of heart. A lot of you could really be feeling extremely up and down, hot and cold in this time, okay? Like, especially with the Two of Swords, we have my biggest cards of mystery emanating from this Judgment. So I'm catching back forth, hot, cold. Do I, don't I? Should I or shouldn't I? Should I have or should I not have? You see what I mean? I'm getting a lot of this, like, dance. And it could be internal for a lot of you. Maybe you're not letting anybody know whether it's a decision or a choice that you're mulling over or a way you might be feeling. I feel like for a lot of you, your feelings about people, your feelings about situations could be really on the move, very fluid in this time. Now, there's a little bit of confusion here in the center with the Two of Swords and the upright. Aside from the unexpected or the sudden changes of heart and feeling, this Two of Swords underneath there is someone who could be a little emotionally confused. So just in this time, be wary, like something might be stumping you. Like, all right, where'd this come from? Why is this happening? So just beware of like confusion about your own feelings or things in general, especially if there's a lot of things popping up left and right. And once again, it's not all necessarily bad. I'm just cueing you into like what I'm feeling. So keep your head on a swivel, my friends. I know I will be. But let's just put this Two of Swords right here. We're going to go in on that Seven of Cups. Hopefully it's good changes or changes for the better. That's absolutely possible. All right, I'm going to stop messing with the cards. Let's keep moving. Let's see why that Seven of Cups is here. I'll try to straighten those out all day if I can, right? We just got to keep it rocking. What's up with that Seven of Cups? And yeah, after this last card, we'll do a quick recap and we'll get into the Shadow card, Ten of Swords. Yeah, there's somebody who really does not want to make the wrong move, make the wrong choice here in a very, very big way. There's somebody that doesn't want to repeat mistakes or could be choosing to sever or stop certain things. That could really be for a lot of Aries. The Ten of Swords underneath the Seven of Cups. Like, okay, something's not working here. Something's not fitting the bill. Something's not fitting in the puzzle. Like for a lot of you, you really might be weighing on removing certain things or certain individuals out of your life for whatever reason, okay? So I do feel for a lot of you, yeah, it could be like putting an end, putting a stop to something. And that could be going with this like flip-flopping or the changes of heart. The Ten of Swords is a card of pain, okay? And what I'm feeling here on the back end is you don't want to cause pain. You don't want to, like, you wouldn't want to cause pain or hurt. You don't want to feel this. Obviously, nobody does. But when I get the Seven of Cups and this Ten of Swords, it's somebody who's either not trying to make the same mistake or not trying to do something too harsh, okay? But for a lot of you, it could be really considering removing various things from your life in this time. Okay, and you would know if that's best for you. I can't sit here and say, yeah, well, yeah, go ahead, remove it from your life. I don't know what every single Aries is going through. But if something doesn't fit, if something doesn't fit the energy, you do what you got to do, my friends. But let's go through and do a quick recap before we get into the Shadow card. Interesting reading here. But in position number one, I mean, there's pain avoidance on the back end, but let's keep moving. The Moon and Judgment, interestingly, emanating from Judgment, we have my two biggest cards of mystery, so I would say expect unexpected situations in this time. Lots of things popping up and cropping up, but something I felt between these front two ends is emotional confusion or sudden changes of feeling and opinion, like feeling one way 1 second and then quickly switching to another. So just know it might be a little bit of a roller coaster in the coming days and weeks. Like, do I, don't I? How do I feel about this? Did I do the right thing? There's a little second guessing, and as an Aries myself, that's something we don't normally do, right? We act. Now, moving to the center, the Queen of Cups with the Two of Swords. Once again, more of this change of feeling, change of heart, but there's some confusion as well. Maybe you feel like, all right, is this right? Is this the right thing? Is this the right way to go? And just watch out for emotional confusion. Like, there's so much things popping up here internally and externally. On the back end, we do have the 7 of Cups with the 10 of Swords, okay? Trying to avoid a disaster, trying to avoid as much pain as possible. Or for a lot of you, you really could be either not wanting to make the wrong choice or figuring out what needs to go, what doesn't fit, if something doesn't fit right. So whether it's a person, a relationship, a job, a friendship, you name it, like there could be something that's just really gumming up the works for whatever reason. But please take a screenshot. You would know what to do best with that. Let's get you one shadow card. I'm gonna see what's in the shadows for Aries. All right, let's get a good shuffle. What's up, my guides? What do we got? And yes, you know I always like to pull one shadow card right at the very end just to see what's going on, whether it's internal, with all this unexpected energy, a shadow card could really clue us in. So what's in the shadows, whether it's from the past, whether it's current. I think it's always nice to do some soul searching. Okay, we have the 8 of Wands, the sudden type of energy, things happening very fast is a big thing with this 8 of Wands. Now, interestingly, in the very beginning, we started with a card of communication. Now we have another. Okay, you might really feel like you need to get something off your chest, or you need to say something. And everyone knows Aries are very opinionated individuals. You don't like feeling like you can't say your piece or speak your piece about things. And that is showing up in the shadows for whatever reason. Okay, but one thing about the 8 of Wands is that it is also a hot and heavy type of card, very fast, very quick moving. So in this time, Spirit could really be asking a lot of Aries not to be too spontaneous, think things through, calm and collected here, because this card, once again, could act very fast or do things very fast. We generally think of the good forward movement with the 8 of Wands, but sometimes it is super fiery, and you know how that energy could go. So just calm and collected is the main name of the game when this shows up in the shadows. Or if you feel like you need to speak your piece, if it is conversation based and things need to be said, say them. Speak your piece, speak your truth is very big in the coming week for you, Aries. So, my friends, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the September subscriber surprise. For the September subscriber surprise, I'll be picking 2 lucky winners to win 2 tarot decks completely at random. It will be a winner's choice. So if you want to get the Gilded Tarot, you could go ahead and do that. If you want the Everyday Witches Tarot, that's your choice as well. Any deck under $40 US will be given away. So if you'd like to get your name in for this one, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. Second, let me know down in the comments which zodiac signs you get along best with. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll put the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you next time.